just I thought a really good team effort. I thought from start to finish we were ready to play. I thought our forwards had a good night. I thought our decor had a good night. I thought our goalie had a good night. I know our power play was 0 for 2, but we liked a lot of things that happened with our power play. I thought it was a well officiated game, and got a little hairy there when it was 2-1. I thought we had plenty of chances to make it 3, and as that game keeps going on, it just takes one goal to change the momentum. I thought we responded after they made it 2-1, though I thought we spent a lot of time in their end. And obviously the open net goal's a big one to seal the deal. So just just a good team effort.
Thanks, Coach. Do we have any questions for Danny before we get out of here? Andy?
Andy Mary, New England Hockey Journal. Danny, kind of piggybacking off of what your coach said. When they score a goal and cut the thing to 2-1, after you guys have been kind of dominating most of the game, what was the mentality like? What was the bench talking about? What was that like?
I thought we had a great response from the guys. Definitely a dagger. 3 minutes left. Guys are definitely starting to get a little worried. But I think the Langers line jumped out there next, and they were able to pin Northeastern in their own zone for 30 seconds to a minute. And I think that was obviously a huge shift to get the momentum back and kind of ease everyone up a little bit.
Scott?
Scott McLaughlin, WEI.com. Danny, especially through the first 2 periods, you guys really kept them out of the middle of the zone, didn't give them any grade A chances. What do you think you guys were doing so well to keep them to the outside?
I thought we did a good job with the forechecks. Our D had good gaps, and I think one of the big differeces, coach was talking about all the game was just, our D wouldn't get the puck in the neutral zone, just getting it up quick, and not letting them set up their forecheck or anything. And then, like you said, just keeping them to the outside was obviously it was part of our game plan, and I think we did a good job with it.
Ken?
Danny, Ken Contact from the AP. When you hear BUBC Beanpot final, what's the first thought that comes to your mind?
It's kind of always been a dream of mine to play them in the finals, and it's kind of how you draw it up. And we definitely owe them after a few weeks ago, so we're all definitely excited to play them.
All right, if there's nothing else for Danny, you can head back. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Questions for Coach Quinn? Andy?
Coach, obviously the stakes are a little different, but was it nice to maybe exercise some of the demons from the last time you guys were in this building? Was that part of the preparation at all?
No, we didn't really talk about that too much. Really not a lot of connection between what happened last year and what's going on right now. Again, we've got such great seniors, and they've really done a great job of taking a young group and leading them on and off the ice. Your success is always tied to your upperclassmen. You need seniors. We didn't have a lot of them last year, but we had great ones. And we've got more of them this year than we did last year, and they have done a phenomenal job in so many ways to allow us to have some success so far.
Mike Whitmer, Boston Globe. David, it looked like you've been splitting your goalie minutes pretty evenly this year. And I know Sean had a couple of rough outings in the Beanpot. What made you, prior to tonight, what made you give him the nod?
Well, he's been playing so well. Our season started, and both of our goalies, one of them, Sean, hadn't played a game last year, and the other one, Connell Lecouve, played about 6. So we knew there was going to be a little bit of some growing pains when the season started, and we weren't getting great goaltending, but you could see them both making progress as the season was going on, and we were 3-3, and we thought if these two guys could play to their capabilities, which we knew they were going to eventually, that we were going to have a chance to have some success. And Sean struggled early, probably bottoming out up at Merrimack when we pulled him after giving up 4 goals on 14 shots, and since then he hasn't looked back. And he's kept a great attitude, and he's played some great hockey in the last month and a half, and there really wasn't much of a decision to play him tonight.
How about that?
a long ways away. We still got a game Friday night, so.
Jake Reiser, WTVU Sports. Coach, it seems like the last few weeks we've been talking about the power play. Did you like the chances your guys got on those 2 opportunities?
Yeah, I thought our power play looked a lot better than it had over the last 3 weeks. We've been real methodical and not a lot of puck movement. You know, I thought tonight we had some great chances. So, again, if we're going to have success moving forward, if we're going to have success in tournaments against really good teams, you have to capitalize on the chances. And, you know, we had some chances, and there was good puck movement, and, you know, certainly something to build on.
Scott, in front of me.
Scott McLaughlin, WI.com. Danny just referenced it, but that series against BC a few weeks back, what did you learn from that, and what do you need to do better to beat them next Monday?
You know, it was funny, when that series ended, as a staff, we were not happy at all. We looked like a very poorly coached team. We felt, I in particular felt we had let a lot go in the time we'd been back. I know the scores may look like the games were close, even though BC scored in both games with 2 minutes to go. But I thought they were clearly the better team both nights. And we're going to have to play a lot better than we did against them 3 weeks ago if we're going to have a chance on Friday.
Scott Weigert, U.S. College Hockey Online. So, Coach, the theme in the first semester was a lot of talent in this team, but you often talked about them being not only a young team, but an immature team. The last few weeks, we've seen a lot more consistency of effort. Has there been a turning point, do you think?
Well, I think these guys are getting older. They're starting to understand what it takes to have success. You know, we played in some big games. You know, the games at Quinnipiac and Yale were tough. The game at Madison Square Garden against Cornell in front of 19,000 people kind of forces you to grow up in a hurry. So, you know, these kids work hard. They do a great job, and we thought it was going to be a matter of time, and you know, they certainly have grown up here in the last few months.
We'll take 2 more if we're out there. Ken, did you have anything? Right here?
David, I know you don't need more incentive for BC. The last 5 times you played them in the Beanpot, you lost. Will that get mentioned this week?
Unless someone else mentions it, because I'm certainly not. You know, it's they've got a great program, and they've had a lot of success, and I'm not surprised. But there's really not a lot of connection between those 5 games and the one we're going to play next Monday.
Anything else, Coach? Right here?
David, just talk about what it means to get BU to another Beanpot final.
Well, it's as we all know, it means so much to each school. Obviously, we've had an awful lot of success over the years. It's you know, for our kids, you know, these seniors in particular have gone through an awful lot. They've seen an awful lot in their 4 years. You know, their first year they almost made the national tournament. They didn't quite get there. Second year had a very difficult season, only winning 10 games. Last year, almost having the perfect season in a lot of ways. And now a team that's kind of creating its own identity. And I think, you know, the Beanpot to me is about the seniors, because it's their last chance at winning a championship in a tournament that means so much to the college hockey community in Boston. I think throughout the country, Boston is the college hockey mecca. You've got all these great teams in such close proximity to each other. College hockey means an awful lot to our city. There's an awful lot of alum that have played in this tournament that, you know, make a living around here, and it's going to be special next Monday, that's for sure. And, you know, I don't know the last time we played BC in the finals, but anytime you play them, even if we've played in the last 10 in a row, it doesn't take any of the excitement away from it. It'll be an exciting game next Monday night.
See you in the late game next week, Coach.
Thank you.